they say that French is the language of love. Well, if that's true, then Italian must be the language of passion. Because
Yes, Stephanie.
this man almost made Kelly crash out.
These my daughters make it hurt. Hello, welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We are your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice. This is The Voice! To give you our take and our feedback on each contestant's performance and overall vocal. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we give you our take and our feedback on each contestant's and overall vocal, but what we're never here to do is come for any contestant's character or as a human being. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't come off at times a little pitchy, if you know what I mean.
Me too.
Here's what we promise. We will always do our best to give our truths with love, kindness, and what, Stephanie?
And respect. That's true. We will.
Right. And with that, it is time to start off a brand new season of The Voice, season 29.
Yes. 29. Crazy.
The Battle of the Champions. That is the theme for this season of The Voice. How you doing, Stephanie?
I'm good. How are you, James?
Good. Now, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, she's Stephanie, I'm James. We are music lovers, sometimes call ourselves music connoisseurs who reside in the greater DMV area. And we used to call ourselves the little podcast that could. Over the COVID years, the Rona years, as I like to call them, Stephanie and I would send each other videos of good singing. A lot of this good singing would come from the show The Voice, and we would critique, sometimes a little roughly critique, but when stuff was really good, we would lose our minds. And
yes, we would.
Stephanie and I quickly realized, hindsight's 2020, but we quickly realized that was a sense of therapy for us during the dark Corona years. And I don't know who brought it up, but one of us said, hey, maybe we should capture some of the stuff we're saying, because it was
No, James said the summer before we started, we should do a podcast.
And
Stephanie said, okay, ... didn't do nothing about it. A week before that season of The Voice was to begin, James said, are we going to do the podcast? And I said, okay, let me get on YouTube and figure out how to create a podcast. And we recorded our first episode. Our first season was only audio. Our second season, we started on video because I could figure out how to apply makeup within 10 minutes and make myself look presentable. And here we are.
Several years later. We had no intention. This was really for us. We threw it out on social media. We had no intention of it turning into what it turned into. So here we are. And we are now on the Patreon.
Yes,
for those of you that have no problem in paying a Starbucks drink for 1 month's worth of Patreon material, which would include early releases, bonus content that you don't want to miss.
That's right.
First reactions, and so much more. For just $5 a month, please join us on the Patreon. Stephanie will put all the information that is needed and tell you everything that is needed to reach out to us or to view us on all the multiple platforms.
Yes.
So with that, we have a very long show to discuss because the Battle of the Champions has brought back some OGs, some hosts we've been begging to get back, and John Legend.
And John Legend.
John Legend has to have his own category because he's the John Legend, right?
Yes,
So
Mr.
Adam
EGOT.
LaVigne, Kelly Clarkson, and John Legend are only our hosts. So we only have 3 hosts this round. So I know that there are some changes, but we got to jump right into it because we got a lot of people to talk about tonight. Without further ado, Stephanie, who is our first contestant?
So our first contestant, he was actually a leak, but he was an interesting leak because they did not show his total performance. I was going to do a reaction to his performance, and I didn't because I was like, why am I going to do it to only half of the performance? So I just waited for the episode, and that is one of the things that you can catch on Patreon, my live reaction to Lucas West, 20 years old, from Fairpoint, New York. And he sang Benny, Benny, Benny and the Jets. Elton John.
By Sir
Elton
John.
Sir. This is very true.
All right. So if you are new to the podcast, I usually start off talking about, and then, Stephanie and I will volley back and forth, and it's become so organic, you all, you'll follow along, and you'll join along quickly. Please, we always encourage you all to remark and please respond. We love to hear your feedback on what you thought about the performances and also how we reacted to the performance. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Right. What did you like? What did you not like? We want to hear it all. And we always have room and so much love for the contestants. So season 29, Lucas West, here we go. Stephanie and I are both suckers for someone who can play the piano and who can sing simultaneously. People have no idea how difficult it is. Like, they have no idea, especially sing like this. I love the stylings choices of Lucas. I said they came on strong with Lucas, as they always do with the opening and closing of a show. I love his falsetto. I love his little runs. I said, but you know what? We always say, Stephanie, what do we always say about people who play an instrument on The Voice? What do we want to see?
I'm going to fail. No.
We want to see what, because he did, in the Be Real, he did say, I'm a pianist and I'm a singer, right? So we want to know, can you step away from the piano? And can you carry a crowd? Which I believe Lucas can.
Oh, I think he can.
Because he's not just a ding 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 ding.
No, he's a showman.
Like, you can hear that this young man can play this 20-year-old can play his.
Oh yeah, he can play. Yeah, he can play.
And he can sing. So I want to see, can Lucas, like some of the greats, push the piano aside, step out, and move the crowd, which I believe he can. And that's what I want to see from him, because he's going to make a deep run. Trust me, he's going to make a deep run on this show. Stephanie, what say you?
You want to see him step out like John Legend does every now and again, do that little two-step and just stand and sing.
Yeah. I would like to see, can you move the crowd? That's going to, I think, be my theme this year. Like, how are you reacting with the crowd? How's the crowd reacting to you? Right.
That's good. Yeah. So one of the things that I actually wrote about Lucas is showman. And you don't usually say that. I don't usually say that about somebody that is playing an instrument while they're singing, because it's kind of hard to command an audience while you're singing and playing. But there were different things that he was doing facially, different things just in his movement, in his body as he was playing and singing. That was like, oh, you a showman too. So I think that he can engage a crowd. Yeah, definitely has a singer-songwriter vocal. He has an older sound than how old he is, right? It's a more of a character-y kind of voice with some soul in it. I I wrote down that his voice almost sounded like it had a filter to it. Like there was just this interesting kind of echoey
Mm-hmm.
quality to his voice that almost sounded like it was produced. I'm not saying that it was, but that's how it sounds. That's how his natural voice sounds. Just like you said, he had some grit. He had some falsetto that he used. It's so funny. If you are of my hue or darker, your first introduction to this song might have been by Mary J, her song Deep Inside. So when I hear Benny and the Jets, I always go to Mary J first, which is,
No, you
I
did
know
not say
better
deep
now.
inside. You did not pull that up.
Yes. Deep inside, I wish that you could see. So that's how I first knew the song. I know better now. I know Benny and the Jets is Elton John, but it's just so funny that those are the two songs that kind of play in my head simultaneously when I hear, especially the intro to the song. And it's speaking of the intro, it was so cool to see all of the coaches react to the intro of the song. They were all like, "Ooh, this is my
It's one of
joint."
those that you
So
hear at the first chord, you know,
exactly,
dun,
exactly.
dun,
Yeah,
dun, and you're like, oh, I know
you
what that
know.
is.
Exactly. So I think, just like you said, Lucas is going to go pretty far in this competition. I think that he is not only a very talented artist, but I think he's charismatic as well. So I think that
Yeah,
that's going to take him far in the competition.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
So Lucas
Okay.
was a two-chair turn. John and Adam turned for him, and he ended up on Team Legend. Welcome to Team Legend.
I was waiting for the song, Stephanie.
Welcome to
Absolutely.
Team Legend.
That's awesome. Okay. Our next singer was, I believe, the very first leak for season
Yes, she
29.
was. Yes, she was.
And
Yes, she
and
was.
who do we have? Because this was actually,
Mm,
Stephanie, this was the only leak that I listened to. Because I know there
yes,
were a few
me.
leaks, right?
There were.
Yeah.
This is Alexia Jayy, 31 years old, from Mobile, Alabama, and she sang "Natural Woman," written by Carole King, made famous by the
The
Queen of Soul
Queen.
herself, Aretha.
The Queen. I said, okay, this is our first leak. I said, Stephanie. And Stephanie, I saw your text messages to me, and I'm getting personal for a second to give you all about. I saw your text message to me. I didn't understand who you were talking about, but then so it kind of all clicks now, because the first thing I wrote, I was like, didn't she sing on the Donnie and Roberta tribute at the Grammys? Like, wasn't she featured?
You mean the well, it was
I'm sorry, the
the
D'Angelo and Roberta tribute.
yes. Yes, she was. She was a part of a trio. I can't remember which D'Angelo song that they were singing, but she was a featured artist. I think that she sang with October London and somebody else. If I'm wrong, let me know.
And
But she was a part of a trio.
what's the piano player's name? What's the guy who played Africa on piano?
Yeah, I can't
Baptiste,
remember.
Baptiste, Baptiste.
Yes. Yeah, I think she was a part of that trio.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I said, okay, first of all, you up
Yeah.
here singing with Lauryn Hill, you singing with Andy Hamilton, you're singing the tribute that everyone was waiting for at the Grammys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Pro.
Yes.
I wrote, my Lord, pro. I said, honestly, you're going to have to do something and be something extremely special to beat, in my opinion, to beat Alexia Jayy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I hear pop, gospel, soul, R&B, rock, holleration from top to bottom. Do you all listen to her voice, and just don't listen to the gloriousness of it, because it's hard to not freak out when you hear Alexia Jayy sing. But
It's
listen
true.
to the evenness of her voice. I'm gonna get a little bit more technical in this season of The Voice. You all use a little bit of my background. There was an evenness to her voice. It's
Yes.
effortless. It's beautiful.
Yes.
She's
Yes.
beautiful. And
Yes.
what are you going to sing next, my dear? I need to
What
know.
now?
Inquiring minds, like, because I just hear you singing everything.
All the things.
Everything. Stephanie, we've been doing this now for over 3 years. And like, I always am like, am I going to get bored of hearing people sing? No. And this is why I know I
No.
love singers, and Stephanie loves singers. because
Yes.
we get so excited when we hear someone as exciting as Alexia. And I said, and the final thing I want to say before I hand it over to Stephanie, I said, wow, Adam, but I get it. And I hope you do too. I know Stephanie gets it, but I hope all of you out there listening, and if you want to know what I'm talking about, go to the
Spoiler.
Patreon, because I'll explain what I'm talking about on the Patreon.
Spoiler.
I said, wow, but I get it. I said, wow, Adam, but I get it. And I hope y'all do too, because I know Stephanie does. Stephanie.
I do. The first thing that I wrote was legendary voice.
Yeah. Yep.
I wrote, there was life. You could hear the life lived in her voice. You could hear the ache and the pain. You could feel the struggle. You could also feel the joy of singing. The depth of the holleration was insane. The lows were delicious. And she is just somebody else who was put on this earth to sing songs, to use their voice to sing music. The ending to this song was like I've not heard before. I've never heard anybody end that song in the way the way it crescendoed at the end. It blew my mind. And the last thing that I'll say, because y'all can look on Instagram and see our full reaction, like our real-time reaction to this performance on IG at the Pitchy Podcast. Anytime you have Carson Daly, who has seen it all, heard it all, anytime you have him in the background going, wow, you know you're legit. I literally cannot wait to hear what she's going to sing next. The next round is the battles. Y'all better pair her up right. And the last thing I want to say is her son is absolutely adorable, and he was unbothered by the entire situation. And I love that energy. He was unbothered.
He was so cute.
I love it.
Was good.
Yes. She was a 3-chair turn, just to make that clear. 3 chairs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, because do you want to explain to them what that means for the champion, for the coaches?
Yes, absolutely. There is a triple turn challenge, so that we actually have some hosts that are keeping track of this triple chair challenge. We have Drewski and we have Derek Fisher. There's this
Drewski is everywhere now.
He's everywhere. So apparently this season, they said, was sports inspired. So we're going to see some sports theming. Even what each coach is giving out, they're all giving out a football jersey or a baseball jersey. Everything is kind of sports inspired, and we will see more of that revealed. But the triple turn challenge, or whatever it is, whichever of the coaches by the end of the blinds wins the most artists when all 3 chairs are turned, that coach is going to get some kind of special super save or super steal that they will be able to utilize. I'm guessing in the next round. So Adam was first up. He was our first triple chair winner because Alexia chose to go with Team Adam.
Stephanie, do you know why that was a smart choice?
Absolutely.
We'll talk about that later. That's why y'all going to join the Patreon for $5. All right. So next up, we have Julia Golden, who sang Strawberry Wine. Who is the artist of this, Stephanie?
Okay, so I found 2 because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't, because here's what I mean, because there was an artist named Deanna Carter that did this song, but also Noah Khan did this song. So I don't know if Deanna was the original and Noah did a cover of it. I'm not sure, but I wanted to bring about both names just in case.
Ooh, y'all. I am a sucker for voices like Julia's. I really am, y'all. I said, and Stephanie, flow with me for a second. I said, I love that swag in her voice. Like what she did with the ooh and that smooth, that vibrato. It's like her vibrato
Mm-hmm.
is swag to me.
Yeah.
I said, and then she opened her voice up at the end.
Yes, she did.
Now for me, I'm being selfish. She could have stayed in that low part of her voice. Not saying that it wasn't glorious when she opened it up. I said, but to me, she could have stayed in that low part of her voice an entire song. I said, all doggone day. I didn't say doggone, but I'm going to say that for the podcast. I said, it's what is big now, that this type of singer. I said, because pop country, and when I say it's what is big now, pop country is really big now. I said, but the thing I like about Julia is she gave me a little soul country, right? Like, especially when she opened the song and the part of her range that she was singing in and the way she manipulates her vibrato and her tone. I said, I'm interested to see what country artists are going to make deep runs this cycle, because we don't, I call Kelly Clarkson country adjacent, right? Because, Kelly, you can tell Kelly can sing anything, but Kelly is not a country singer per se. She knows everything about country music because she grew up in that atmosphere and in that environment. Right. So I call her country adjacent. And, Reba McEntire is her former stepmother-in-law, I think. So again, I'm interested to see, since there's not a bona fide country singer as a coach,
right,
how they're going to make a run. I think Julia has a genre jumping voice, even though it's got a country foundation. But I love that soul in her voice. It's just butter to me. Stephanie.
Yeah. I think for me, the thing that stood out about her the most was her vibrato. I thought that it was really lovely. And I agree that her sound is a very, it's definitely foundationally country, but like you said, I can see it leaning into other genres as well, which I think is great for a competition like this, where you never know what kind of songs they're going to throw at you. And I just thought that her stage presence was really, really beautiful. I felt that at the beginning she was a bit nervous, which is what we always see in these blinds. Of course, they're going to be nervous. They're trying to get chairs to turn. But I especially loved when her voice started to soar, because I feel like when people get into that range of their voice, and a lot of times where you have that chorus or you have that part of the song where the voice is able to soar, that's kind of where the nerves are shed, because that's where they're most comfortable. And that's probably the part that they're most comfortable with lyrically in the song as well. And it just seems like that's the part of the song where folks just really, really shine and kind of shed the nerves. So I saw that. So I was not surprised that chairs turned for her.
Yeah. Who did Julia choose?
Yeah, so she was a 2-chair turn. Kelly and John turned for her, and she is on Team Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly was, I mean, to give a little foreshadowing without giving too much away, Kelly was making a run tonight, boy. I tell you, she was making a run tonight.
We will either talk about that on Patreon. Yeah, we'll either talk about that on Patreon, or we'll talk about that. I might go live on Friday and talk about Miss Kelly, because it was kind of stunning to me how things kind of shook out last night as far as Kelly was concerned.
Right. Yeah. All right. Our next singer is Abigayle Oakley. She sang a song called Call Your Girlfriend. And who is that by?
This was another one where I'm like, is this by Robin? Is this by Ashley Brown? I wasn't quite sure who this was by, but those are the names that I came up with on Apple Music.
So here's the thing about Abigayle. Dark horse. Watch out. Because they come in soft, because they come in folky, just watch out.
You
I
better
said
watch
very
out.
90s, early 2000s. Coffee House, Lisa Loeb, Dolores O'Riordan, Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Paula
Dolores
Cole.
O'Riordan, rest her soul, is the lead singer of the Cranberries.
Oh, yeah. Paula Cole.
Type A voice. I said it's effortless, it's unique. I said this is a voice that I love to hear sing in different genres. I said, but she's gonna, I want them to put her in different genres because it's going to really accentuate, because I feel like she'll keep the truth in her sound and the stylings of her voice. Whatever genre you throw at her, that was it Alexia? A few seasons
Yes.
ago? Like
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
style you threw at
Yes.
Alexa, and we would just like, Stephanie and I would just be losing it, right? And
Yes.
I feel like I feel like Abigail's that type of singer, right? So unassuming, so not on anybody's radar because she's not a sing it down powerhouse singer.
Yeah.
She's that girl. I also
Yeah.
want to hear her take on the artist aforementioned, right? That I mentioned before, because I feel like she will not perform copycat karaoke versions
Sure
of Do You
won't.
Have to Linger or You Say or give me an Evanescence song. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Uh, Bring Me to Life.
For me,
For
right,
one.
exactly. I I take me on a train. Uh, I feel like Abigail is so unique and has that sound, but it's her own sound that
Mm.
you give her that genre, that 90s coffee house, early 2000s type of singer. She's gonna make it all her own, and it's gonna be like reimaginations of those huge hits that Stephanie and
Oh
I grew
yeah.
up with.
Oh
Stephanie,
yeah. Oh yeah. Abigail was a
yeah,
first couple notes in. I was
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's that voice. That's that uniqueness. That's that I can't quite put my finger on it, but I want more. That was Miss Abigail. And she just came in so unassuming. And I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, she was giving Paula Cole. She was giving I don't wanna wait.
Yep.
she
You're
was
right.
giving she
Like
was
think
giving
of
storyteller.
every type. Sarah McLachlan. Think of
Lilith Fair. She was
Lilith
giving Lilith.
Fair. Think of Sixpence None the More.
Sixpence none the
Like
richest.
think of
Yes.
think of all the voices like that, and
Yes.
it's like she's like the best of all those voices. That's why
Absolutely.
people need to watch
Yes.
out.
Yeah, she was giving Kiss Me. Kiss Me. Yeah, she was giving all of it. She just has that we when we were talking about Alexa before, we said like she had that nature voice, like babbling brook, like you thought you were in a forest, like very ethereal, just like
Alexa, she grew up in the woods, and that was her
yeah.
voice.
Yes,
It was
and
so
that's
incredible.
exactly that's what Abigail sounds like, except she from Vegas, so I don't understand where the voice comes from. Maybe she out in the desert or somewhere, but I don't know. It was just such a lovely,
Abigail,
lovely.
I know a bunch of stuff has already been taped, but you want
Yeah.
to see one of these Pitchy Podcast members lose their shizzle.
Okay, what's she gonna do?
Sing if you sing some Billie Eilish,
Oh my
Stephanie's
God,
gonna
it's
lose it,
over.
y'all. She's
No,
gonna
no, no.
lose it.
I have my recommendation, and it's very niche. And any of you that get this full thought, get this recommendation, extra credit and bonus points to you. So the next round is battles, which she will be paired up with another partner. I want her paired up with a male, and I want her singing a Civil Wars song.
Ooh,
Do you know Civil?
of course
I
I know
need.
Civil
I
Wars.
need.
My wife actually introduced me to Civil Wars years ago.
Oh my God.
I
I
mean,
was
I
obs
know their
oh,
scandalous story, but yeah, they're incredible.
listen.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I'm obsessed.
yeah.
I became obsessed last season. I want Abigail to be partnered up with the male, and I want her singing some Civil Wars. because
I
I
love
just
it.
think that would be
Love
insane.
it. Yeah,
So,
she's got that
Abigayle, we
voice.
are big fans, sis. Big fans.
All right, so our next singer is, now
It
this one kind of threw
is,
me off, is Jonah Mayor, um, El
yes,
Mundo.
El
He's
Mundo.
like, I was like, de dove sei? Didn't think I spoke Italian, y'all. I said, de dove
The-
sei? He said, sono de Boogie Down Bronx. I said,
yes,
oh. And he was like, I'm going to sing. Like, he's like, okay, I'm in a boy band cover,
I am
and
in
I'm
a,
32.
yes, sir.
But,
31,
very
31.
good looking guy in shape,
Yes,
kind of had that
yes,
look. Looks a lot younger than
yes,
he
he did.
is. And he's
Yes,
like, but I'm going to sing in Italian.
I'm going to sing some Italian.
I said,
I said, okay, sir. Okay,
okay.
sir.
I
Okay.
said, great voice. I said, y'all, again, I'm going to get technical for a second because I know a little bit of Italian, y'all. This is what I studied in school. So I said, listen to how incredible the Italian language makes a voice sound.
Come
If you
on.
listen to Jonah's voice, I said, it really lets the voice soar. And a lot of people may not know this, but Italian forces you because of the way you pronounce the words to sing with perfect pure vowels. The
Come on.
Italian A-E-I-O-U are perfect vowels. And that's why his voice sounds so glorious when he sang this song. Now, the boy can sing, right? The
Yes, he
young
can.
man, excuse me, can sing.
Yes.
I said, there's nothing like it in the world. I hear a classical background, which
Yes.
Stephanie knows I love to hear. And
Yes.
I heard a little run. Did you get a little run in there? I
Oh, I
said,
sure
okay.
did.
He did a little run at
I
the end.
did.
I said, okay.
I did.
So, yes. And this just goes to show you all, if you have a classical foundation, you can sing any genre. And
Sure can.
I wonder if he's going to keep with the classical overlay in
He's
his
not.
songs.
He's
I
not.
don't think so. I think that
He's
was a
not.
huge bankable risk that he took, because Kelly literally was going to, I thought she was going to ask him out on a date.
I did too.
Because she was losing it. Because Kelly's trained classically. I said
Yes.
trained classically. So Kelly appreciates it, right? She
Oh,
really
yeah.
and I'm sure they all do. But
Oh, yeah.
just listen how glorious his voice soars. Almost like an opera singer, right? But
1000%.
it was like Italian pop almost. I loved it. I loved this dude. I think, but I don't know where he's going to go, because I think he has a voice that can sing anything. I don't know what direction he's going to move in. And I want to know, right? Stephanie.
I want to know. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
I want to know. Sorry.
That's exactly where I was. And extra credit and bonus points if y'all know that reference as well. There are lots of bonus points being thrown out in this episode. Let us know in the comments, how many bonus points did you get so far this episode?
Tell me what I gotta do to.
Don't even start. Don't even start.
I have a mic here. That's why I went like this, y'all, because I was singing into my mic. Anyway, Mr. Lover, Italian.
Oh my
Come on,
goodness!
Stephanie. What you think of?
Don't they say that French is the language of love? Well, if that's true, then Italian must be the language of passion.
Yes,
because this man almost made Kelly crash out. This man, oh my goodness! When he started kind of in his lower range, she was an immediate bop. But then when his voice opened up, she was like, yeah.
I was like, Kelly.
You thought she was at a sporting event. She's like, I said, what a voice. I said, what a voice. What this voice did do was show all of his range, show all of the colors, show all of the textures.
Glorious.
And just like you said, that Italian was able, because of all of the open vowels, it allowed for his voice to just soar in the most magnificent way. It really displayed his voice nicely. And like you said, it was a calculated risk, but if Kelly was the only chair to turn, then that's the only chair he needed. he is a character. Once you got into like, the coaches talking, and
But
he was a character. And when they said that he sang as a in a cover band, in a cover boy band, I was like, oh, then he must be getting all the NSYNC JC bridges, because he is singing this
same.
Italian down. So I think he's getting all of the big bridges that JC Chazé sang, because his voice
The
was
best singer
just,
in NSYNC.
it,
Sorry.
it, it is true. Let us know in the comments.
Battle us if you dare.
Listen, and
Battle us if you dare.
I am an NSYNC stan, okay? And it's JC. Justin is great. It's JC. Just so that we're clear. Jonah was incredible, and I can't wait to hear more from him.
Yeah.
Jonah was a 2-chair turn. Adam and Kelly turned for him, and he went on Team Kelly. He had to. There was no other choice. There's no other choice.
Awesome. All right. So, I can't wait to talk about this next one, because, yeah. I want you to go first with Mr. Simpson.
I would love to go first.
Who's our next singer?
So it was Bay Simpson, 26 years
Bay.
old.
I love the name Bay.
Bay. All right,
Hey,
Bay.
What up, Bay?
Hey, Bay. Hey, Bay.
Love your name, so love it.
Yes, we love it. 26 years old, from Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Come on.
And he sang "The Waiting" by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So I was nervous before he sang, because of who his lineage was. And when they set folk up like that, it feels like a setup to set down, pretty much. I was nervous. He is from the lineage of Elvis Presley, and those are pretty tall shoes to fill. So I was nervous that the quality of his voice may not compare to what we are used to from an Elvis Presley or anybody saying that they do music and are related to him. Well, Bay starts off, and I said, well, wait a minute. Am I listening to the classic 80s radio station? Because he sounds just like Mr. Bryan Adams or Mr. Michael Bolton.
80s male singer.
80s male singer. Whoever, that's what he sounded like. And I was like, okay, this is not what I thought I was going to hear at all. But I am loving what I am hearing right now. Like, I thought he sounded radio ready right now. And his voice was, and he did the classic 80s vocal, meaning there were holleration parts, but then there were quiet pulled back parts, there were whispery parts, but there were then more power parts, and he was executing all of it really well. The weird thing was, nobody was hitting their button, and I'm like, I'm looking around like, am I missing something? Because I am hearing a really quality vocal right now, and nobody is turning until the end. And we'll share who that was in a minute, because he was a 1-chair turn. But I was ready to be like, he gonna be all right, because they didn't set him up. He was really fantastic. I really liked Bay. What did you think?
Okay, I said, nice to have an 80s voice on the show. I said, he's like a chill rocker. Like his whole vibe was like, hey, what's going on, y'all?
Yes.
But he's from Muscle Shoals, right? So I said, this dude is a musician's musician. Like, you can tell he's got musicianship oozing from him. I said, I hope, and Stephanie, I think you probably picked up on this too. I hope because of his laid back approach, he doesn't get looked over. I said, because he's low key amazing. Really low key about it. I said, he is a low key amazing artist. I said, America, vote for this dude. I want this dude to go far, because he just takes me back to my very young childhood, like hearing like you said, like hearing the stuff that I would hear on the radio. when I wasn't listening to the urban contemporary, right? Or the quiet storm or
Yes.
whatever that my parents were listening to, or the
Yes.
Motown that my parents were listening to. Like he's like what you would hear on MTV, like when I was a very young kid, when I had no business watching.
Yes.
You know, like he's that voice. Tom Petty, like he's
Tom
very,
Petty,
very
yes.
like you can tell that Tom Petty, like you can tell Tom Petty is a huge influence on him, because he's got that laid back, time back now, like type of voice, you know.
Yeah.
I want to see more of him. Do not let him go early.
Don't.
I'm a big fan of Bay. Really, like low key big
Yeah.
fan. I didn't know I was at first, but then as he
Yeah.
was singing, I was like, yo, he can sing.
He can sing.
He's really good. Artist, like you said, radio ready.
Yeah. He was a one-chair turn. Adam turned for him. So I'm very excited to see what he and Adam are going to cook up together.
Yeah, that's gonna be scary, that connecting with Adam.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had one chair turns that have made it to the finals. So multiple
We've
one
had
chair
one
turns.
chair turn as a winner.
That's right.
Yeah.
Two seasons ago, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so our next artist was someone who auditioned in season 28. Now, because I was busy a lot of times during season 28, I don't remember her audition. I probably didn't get to see her audition. But who did we have?
This is Liv Ciara, 16 years old, from St. Peters, Missouri, and she sang "We Can't Be Friends" by Ariana Grande.
By the Ari, right? So I said, I don't remember from last season, but I missed a bunch. And then I wrote, is this Ari's song?
Yeah, it is.
From her last album. I said, oh my gosh, this young lady, because they played a little bit of her first audition and she sang, what's the big song?
She sang Espresso.
Right? Which by Sabrina Carpenter. And I thought it was a totally different singer. Like, honestly, I was like, that was not the person that auditioned. Because Espresso's not, to me, it's a great song, but it's not an audition
song.
And if Liv was singing like this the first time,
I
was like, yo, that's crazy. I said, I said, I love this version of this song, and I think that Ariana, more importantly, I think Ariana would love the version of this song, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think she would love the reimagining that she did of this song. So whoever helped Liv arrange it, like if she did it herself, I'm still blown away because she's a kid, same age as my daughter, which is wild. I said she has that teen angst thing down, but there's also a maturity. And I'm so glad that when they discussed Liv, they talked about the maturity of her sound. So it was I felt like teen angst and maturity, which is kind of oxymoronic, were battling each other. Yes. And that's what made, to me, her audition so special.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I love this. I said, she could really make a deep run on this show. I can and you can tell she has some serious performing chops. Like, she sings with her dad in a band as a pro. Like, you can tell that this is what she does because of how she captured the coaches and the crowd. Blank is going to be an awesome coach for her. Stephanie.
Yes, 1000%.
Okay. What's your take on Liv?
I was so impressed by her range, and her control. Those are the two things that stood out to me, other than all the things that you shared. And also the ability to connect, because that was some of the feedback that she was given in her first audition, was that they felt like that she really wasn't connecting to the song, or that she should pick a song that she could more connect to. You can't really, I mean, I like Espresso, but it's like, that's not a song where you can show a connection between you and the lyrics, really. And she just did a masterful job at that. Like, I could have had my eyes closed and just listened to her vocal and know that she was connecting to the lyrics of the song. It was really, really masterful and a really, really strong vocal for somebody that young. The ability to control the musicality that she had. I love her personality. I love that she got so overwhelmed and almost started to cry, was basically crying at the end of the audition because she was just so grateful to have gotten chairs to turn this time. I think she could go really far in this competition.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And who did she choose?
Yeah, so she was a 2-chair turn, and Adam and Kelly turned for her, and she chose Kelly.
Miss Clarkson batting 1,000. I tell you,
stacking them.
Okay. Our next singer was.
This is Aaron LaVigne. It took me so long to try to figure out how to say his name. I had to practice it. I had to write it phonetically in order to get it correctly, especially because it's so close to LaVigne.
Right.
I really was working on trying to get it correct. So I hope that I got it correct, Aaron. 43 years of age, from Cincinnati, Ohio, and he sang "Feels Like the First Time." When they said the title of the song, I was like, I think I know this. And then when he got into the chorus, I was like, oh yeah, I know this.
Yeah.
This is a foreigner song.
I said, they did a lot of his background, and I was like, oh, here we go. I said, he's the crowd mover right off. You can tell that this young man has experience getting a crowd into it. I said, but I didn't think it was translating at first.
Yeah, like 1,000%.
He looked a little scared at first, and I was like, Aaron, sir, like I know him. I was like, Aaron, sir, I know what you can do because of your resume. Okay?
Your resume, sir. Yes.
And I'll talk about that in a second. I said, but I think, here's what I think, Stephanie.
Okay.
Aaron, coming from one professional to another, if I can get frank with you, young man, I think it's a part of your plan.
Young man, he's 43. He our age, James.
I think it's a part of your plan, Aaron.
Oh.
I think it was a part of your plan. Anyone that has played Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ Superstar in the 50th year national tour is going to be a bananas singer. Okay?
Gotta be. Better be.
If you aren't familiar with this show, Jesus Christ Superstar, I call it JCS for short. Jesus Christ Superstar is the most, pound for pound, arguably the most difficult male vocals in the musical theater realm. Like, you don't get more difficult than Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar for the two roles of Jesus and Judas. He played Jesus, okay? I said, it's the most difficult roles in history. And this man played Jesus for years, right? Yeah. I said, watch out, voice contestants. I said, Aaron is going to be a force.
Yeah.
Okay? And Aaron, if you are watching, on a personal side note, we have a mutual friend, my college roommate, covered you in Jesus Christ Superstar. Stephanie's reacting for the first time. I was saving this for Stephanie. My college roommate covered you in Jesus Christ Superstar, so you know who I'm talking about, as Jesus on the same national tour. So we have a mutual friend who I actually, the second I found out who that was, I texted this person, and I said, did you know that? He said, yeah. He's like, look, he said, I'm going to read to you. And I should put this on the Patreon, but no, I'm not. I'm giving this for y'all. This is what our mutual friend said to me. I said, I said, Aaron killed his audition on The Voice. And then he responded, he did. And this is a friend who literally was about to go on stage on Broadway. Like, he's in the Book of Mormon on Broadway, right? He said he did. He said, it was funny watching it, knowing him as well as I do. I could almost hear his internal thoughts. So, Aaron, I hope you're watching the Pitchy Podcast, because we have a mutual friend. My college roommate covered you in that same production in Jesus Christ Superstar. So, Aaron, you know who I'm talking about.
Wow.
Stephanie is
That is
watch out,
wild.
y'all. Just watch out.
That's wild.
Small world.
It is a small world. I love just like you said with the resume. I was like, well, I already know. I don't even need this man to audition. Just put
Now,
him
sometimes
through.
resumes bite people in the butt, right?
They do, but this kind of resume does not lie. You playing Jesus Christ in Jesus Christ Superstar for years. That's not a fluke. And you done been in Rent as well. That's
What?
not a fluke.
At 18?
Right? At 18, that's no fluke. So when this started, I was like, okay, good voice, obviously can sing. What I didn't like the instrumentation of this song.
Yeah,
I
it was
thought that the band was
weird.
doing the most. I
Yeah.
thought that the band was almost trying to overshadow his vocal. And by the time he got into the chorus, he was hollering so you could see what he had. But I was like, I didn't love the song choice either.
Yeah. Aaron, you're not going to be frank with you. I feel like we're friends. I felt like
Aaron,
you looked a little unsure. Tell me what's going on, Aaron. Like, hit me in the DMs, right? Tell me what was going on. I won't share it with the Pitchy Podcast group. I want to know what your thought was.
So you're going to share it with me.
I want to know why my roommate, our mutual friend, wrote what he wrote to me. That's what I want to know.
At the Pitchy Podcast, hit us up in the DMs and let us know. He was a two-chair turn. He went with Kelly. We're gonna see. I'm glad we're gonna see more of Aaron, because I think after whatever happened in the midst of this blind audition, in the next round, we're going to see Aaron. I don't know who we saw this time. We saw enough to make it. Obviously talented. We are going to see Aaron in the battles. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. Our next singer was Mr. AJ Robinson. And he sang Watermelon Moonshine.
Now, what he know about some watermelon moonshine? We ain't even talking about a beer. We're not even talking about a good cocktail. We're talking about moonshine. And this brother is 14 years of age. Okay, be careful, AJ. Be careful, bro.
Who's the artist for this, Stephanie?
Lainey Wilson. Of course, she drinking some moonshine.
Here's what I loved about AJ's audition. I love that. 14 years young, AJ's already a storyteller, right? So it's so important that, especially as a country artist, you have to be a storyteller first before you sing.
You better be.
You have to be a storyteller first. I said, that's just astonishing to me. What you know about telling a story at 14?
About some moonshine.
Like, exactly. I said, AJ, young man, because you are definitely young enough to be both of our child, right?
Oh my God, that's so true.
Listen, I'm put my teacher hat on, or say a parent hat on, or mentor hat on for a second. Listen to what Kelly Clarkson told you. She gives wonderful advice about the voice. When she said, watch your pitch, breath, blah, 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 I said, listen to what Kelly Clarkson told you. I said, John is going to work you harder than you've ever had to work. Oh, sorry. Than you ever had to work in your life.
For sure.
I said, because he sees the potential in you becoming a remarkable artist even at 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
The voting audience is going to love this young man. Mm-hmm. They will, because he's really good, and he's and like, I feel like, as to what Kelly said, I feel like there's going to be an evolution of AJ vocally. Because his voice may have just changed, y'all. I mean, you're 14. His voice may have just changed.
Yeah.
Singing like that and telling that story at 14, you better.
So here was an interesting thing I thought about with AJ. I wondered whether he is a country singer or whether he just likes singing country music.
Ah, good point. That threw me off
Because
in the
there
Be
was
Real about him being a break dancer, right? I was like, wait, he's a dancer. He's a dancer.
because I say that, and that can be a good thing for you, AJ. Hear me out. I did not hear the natural twangy twang in the throat as I usually do
I get
of a
what you're
regular
saying. I get
country
what you're saying.
artist. And that does not mean that you can't be a country artist. That could just mean that you like singing country music. But the great thing about that is that you can do other things. You can sing pop. You can sing R&B. He was the one that plays like all the instruments, right? He plays a ton of things. So the first thing that came to mind when they started talking about that is Justin Bieber. Now, you don't have to be a pop artist like Justin Bieber, but Justin Bieber has dabbled in a lot of different genres because he is an artist. He predominantly does pop, but he's done a little bit of everything. So,
The way
age,
he
and
did it at Grammys
especially,
was bananas.
ooh, and
Y'all may have thought it
so
was crazy because he didn't have no clothes on, but it was
yeah,
bananas. It
that
was.
that would
It
that
was so
it
good.
really was. It really was. That could tend to skew judgment though when you're wearing hardly nothing. But just close your eyes and listen. It was quite brilliant.
Yeah.
But you're working with Mr. John Legend, so number one, buckle up, Buttercup, because he is going to
Buckle
take
up.
you for a vocal masterclass, and he can also be the one to expose you to different genres that you might not think that you would sing. So I think that this is going to be a great experience for AJ.
John is a technician as much as Kelly is, so that's why I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been happy if he would have gone. I'm glad he went with John. Or I know Kelly didn't
Yeah,
turn, but like I think he's in really capable hands with John. But I think John's
agreed.
going to work the heck out of him.
Agreed.
Yeah. All
Agreed.
right. Our final performance of the night,
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Keith,
Mm-hmm.
You Are My Lady by the incomparable Stephanie. How long have I been asking for a Quiet Storm song from like the early 80s, early 80s? I said, there is this whole genre of music that's untapped on this show.
That's
But
right. That's
you
right.
got to be a singer to sing the song. Like
You
not many,
better.
especially not many. And Jeremy is 40. So
E40.
he's seasoned, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know any 20-year-old that can sing Freddie Jackson. Okay? I just don't know
Haven't
any.
met him.
I'm sure they're
Yeah.
out there.
Might
But
be.
see,
Might be
this is
out
the
there.
music that Stephanie and I grew up on vicariously through our parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was what was on the radio when we were riding around in the car.
That's right.
Okay? I said, here we go. I said, you're the final singer of the night, Chet, and you're singing one of my favorite 80s, 90s. Excuse me. And you have the nerve to be the BGV who got pulled up in one of my favorite 90s super R&B groups of all time after 7. I said,
After
if this
7.
boy can't sing, and they put him in this last slot, as my mother used to say before she knew I could sing, she said, this woman is a professional. At my first choir concert, I don't know if I ever told you this story. She said, this woman's a professional. Sure, she's not going to let this boy embarrass himself. And I said, surely, if he sings lead on with After 7, it's going to be a rap. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a rap. Mm-hmm. I said, and you from the DMV?
Uh-huh.
And Stephanie and I will tell you, argue with us if you must. Some of the greatest singers come from this area. Some of the greatest undiscovered talent is from this area, as we say here. Okay? Yep. I said, because we got some singers, y'all.
Singers.
Who aren't even discovered. We got some singers.
That's right.
I said, I'm ready. I said, no, he didn't come with some Freddie Jackson. And I said something that I can't say on the Pitchy Podcast. And Stephanie knows what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. Saying.
Yeah, she knows what I'm saying. Because I said it a few times. And if you want to know, I'm not going to tell you.
No, we're not.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
I
No, just
K.
that.
If you
Move
know,
on.
you know. I
Yeah.
said,
Yes.
look.
Yes. If you know, you know. Yes. I thought you were spelling something different.
No, I was doing the abbreviation for you. If you know, you're so crazy. Stephanie, I can't with you tonight. Like, I said, now what if Jeremy Keith, if I won one critique, and this is me, like, because there's no critique over that audition tonight. Like, but if I had one critique, I said, bruh, because I know you know. I said, what key were you singing that in? I don't know if I like that key. Because I said, because I'm a purist when it comes to Freddie Jackson. Okay, I'm a purist.
Was it a key high or key
low?
low?
It was lower. It was lower.
Low.
But it's Freddie Jackson, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a like a Peebo Bryson tenor R&B.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I said, look, I don't know about that key, but I do know about that voice.
Yeah.
I said, and I know about that resume, and I know about the history. This dude is scary good.
Mm-hmm.
He's scary. I said, but again, I'm a Freddie Jackson purist, and I still don't know about that key. I said, but dude, that run that you did that made Kelly turn, did you hear that run? Kelly said, oh, you are mine. I can't do it. I can't. My voice is shot.
Yeah.
Stephanie and I are in the choir, and I did too much singing last night. My lady. I can't do it, y'all. But normally I can. I said, but when you did that run that made Kelly turn, because see, I don't know if Adam might know the song, because Adam's, I think he's like in between you and me, Stephanie. He's Adam's seasoned, and Adam knows a lot more than I thought he does as far as music. But I don't think Kelly knows what that song is.
I bet she does.
John was.
Oh, but
I said yes. I said John knows.
Yep.
I said, but that dude, when you did that run and you made Kelly turn around, I said that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm about to throw my shoe at you. I almost broke the TV with this one. And then I'll give my feedback to who he chose at the end. Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
Please tell me what you felt about Jeremy Keith, because I know you know this song, and I know you know the artist of this song.
No, but do you want to know how I really know this song best?
How?
It was on Family Matters. There was it was in a very epic episode of Family Matters with Steve Urkel and Laura and all them. Yeah. That's how I know the song best. That's what I remember from. I think of Urkel. So based on time, like actual show time, and based on the fact that there had been only one person cut, when it got to Jeremy, I was like, uh-oh. Are we about to get another cut?
Change it?
No, I thought they were going to cut him. I thought based on time, because they usually cut somebody before they go to the last artist, and it seemed like there was going to be too much time for his full audition, and then there was going to be more time. That was not the case. I was very excited about that. I thought he had a really strong, smooth R&B vocal. I thought that his vibrato was really great. I thought that he was able to show his range in this song. I thought that the run where Kelly hit her button was chef's kiss. I thought it was just a really great rendition of this song. But when people really shine for me, James, it's when a artist and a coach asks an artist to sing with them, because that's the unscripted thing. That's the unplanned thing. That's when they are really
come out. Did you hear what he did?
Oh yeah. That's when they really get put on the spot, so you can really see what they're working with. And so John, in order to try to get Jeremy on his team, because Jeremy was a 3-chair turn, he asked if he knew Ordinary People, because Jeremy had said how he and his mother pretty much wore out John's Get Lifted album, as many of us have. So of course,
is this the 20th year?
Yeah.
This or last was last year the 20th.
Maybe last year.
Okay.
But of course they sang Ordinary People, and I was very impressed with Jeremy. I was very, very impressed. So I
Did you
think,
hear them BGVs he was giving when John was singing?
oh yeah.
I said,
Oh yeah. I said, oh,
I
okay,
said,
bro. I see all of what you're working with now.
if you don't sing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you don't sing the song.
Yeah. Yeah. Sing the song. We're just
As we say in the
ordinary.
Black church, take your time.
Take your time, sir. Take your time.
Take your time.
Now, as I just said, Jeremy was a 3-chair turn, and he
What
did
happened,
a solo.
Stephanie?
He sang that solo with Mr. John Legend. So you thought that it was all but a lock that he was going with Mr. John Legend, but he pulled the okey doke and he said, "I'm gonna go with Adam." And I was like, I literally went, I said, "Oh, y'all using strategy this year." All
I
right.
said, y'all heard me. I said, I don't know about the key, but I know about the voice. I know about the resume. I know about the history. And finally, I know that he's smart.
Oh yeah, that was strategy.
Because he chose Adam LaVigne.
And we are going to
And
touch
if you
on
know,
in
then you
Patreon.
know. If you know,
We're
then
going to touch on in Patreon
yes, we will.
why
For $5 a month.
those were good
That
choices.
was it. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to our inaugural episode of season 29, Battle of the Champions, The Voice. Please join us every week for our commentary. And Stephanie, tell everyone where they can find us.
Sure. So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. And while you are there, especially if you are on Apple Podcasts, please rate us with 5 stars and a kind review so more friends and viewers of The Voice can find our podcast. And after you do that, hop on over to YouTube, search for The Pitchy Podcast, and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Pitchy Podcast and at Blue Sky at thepitchypodcast.bsky.social for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more. And last, make sure that you join our Patreon. If you love our comments, our commentary, our feedback, there is tons more over on Patreon for only $5. So much content over there. So much we dive into each episode even more deeply. We have real-time reactions from the episode that week. So much bonus content over there, only $5 per month.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Tune in next week for episode 2 of The Blinds, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.